Okay. Whoops. Oh, don't knock it over. There we go. All right. Live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook. Paste. Share to your group. League of Badass Butterflies. Go live. Here we go. Got it. Okay, let's see. It looks good on Facebook. All right, and let me get this set. Hi, Tiffany. Good morning. Happy Saturday morning, everyone. Okay. So, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here for day 6. Wow, day 6 of Spiritual Life Coach Startup Bootcamp. It's really hard to believe that this has been going on. Actually, so this is day 6, but we've been going for 7 days because we had an orientation. And so this is our 7th day of work. And boy, it's been really, really good. I am excited about what we're learning. I'm excited to be teaching it and sharing it with you because I know that this stuff is really important. And I'm so happy that you all are thinking very proactively about becoming spiritual life coaches and starting your own business and working for yourself. Okay. So today we are going to be doing and creating what I call your signature offer or your flagship offer. And for those of you who are kind of still new to this, you've never really quite thought about, well, what is that? What is it? Well, what happens is, as a life coach, like I know that a lot of people think that being a life coach is just kind of about saying, like, you learn how to be a coach, and then what you do is you somehow tell everybody that you're a coach, okay? And that is partially true, but it leaves out about 90% of everything else that you have to have behind you before you even start to tell people that you are a certified spiritual life coach. And so what we want to do in our business is to create, number one, an entire business, which is systematized, organized, and structured to have a theme, to have a message, to have a philosophy, and then everything in the business serves that theme, message, and philosophy. So, for example, my business is Badass Butterfly Spiritual Life Coaching, and I am inviting you all into my certification program. So my theme, message, and philosophy is about everything that I've told you in this boot camp. I've spoken to you about your magic. I've spoken to you about your hard-earned wisdom. I've spoken to you about your ideal client and how you are qualified to teach her. And I've told you about building out your business. All of that is what my program is about, making sure that all of those things come together for you in your business so that when you launch as a coach, you are very clear about your message, your theme, and everything you need to do in order to be successful in your business, okay? So the good news about that is, that you have, right now you're new and you are learning my perspective on being a certified spiritual life coach. And you will hear many different coaches that are out there. They all have kind of a different take on what it means to be a spiritual life coach. My particular take on being a spiritual life coach is that you have to be spiritual and connected to the divine, but you also have to be connected to your pain, and you also have to be connected to your money, right? Because you want to be able to afford to take care of yourself, your family, and your dreams for the future. And so for me, certification and becoming a life coach is not just about learning how to coach people, it's also about running your business. So one of the things that happens when you all are in my boot camp, you all love my boot camp, and I'm really, really pleased that you are loving boot camp. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. And a lot of you want to work with me. But one of the things that you may not know is that in order to work with someone to learn how to run a business, you are now out of the realm of regular humanity. You are no longer a regular average human being. You are moving into the world of entrepreneurship. So business and learning business is meant to give you a return on your investment. And what that means is if you put $100 in, you should expect at least $200 to come back, because this is how business works. Okay, it's just the way it works. You invest some money, you get back your money plus a handsome return. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Now, excuse me, because you all, I'm still dealing with whatever this is I have. Excuse me. So your return on your investment is going to depend on what your industry is. Usually for a new life coaching business, you would expect to see a full return on your on whatever investments you make in the beginning. You would want to see a return on those investments within a year to a year and a half of working in that business. Now, if that is not a fast enough return for you, I'm sorry, that's just the way it goes. I'm sorry. Like, you can figure out how to make it go faster, but in my humble opinion, it's completely fine. Tomorrow in our session, we're going to talk about making your first $40,000 in your first year of your business. And you'll see why I say a year and a half for a return on your investment is pretty good. So for those of you who are interested in working with me in my coaching program and my certification program, just to kind of let you know a ballpark figure, there are different ways of working with me in my program. And the pricing starts at $8,500 US. Now, this is a 10-month program, and most programs that are for coaching and business building are charging $7,000 to $8,000 for 3 months. 3 months, $7,000 to $8,000. So my program is 10 months, and I'm teaching you everything, and you have access to me 6 days out of the week, where I will sit down with you and look at you and your work and your business and help you build your business. So it's $8,500 as the starting point for 10 months. That is a phenomenal price. I know that for some of you, you're thinking, oh my God. Well, here's the thing. Number one, I have a proven method that works. Number two, I'm living proof of it. I'm doing it and I'm teaching you, and you're here. And number three, the things that I'm going to be teaching you make perfectly good sense. The things that you're going to get from my program are tangible. They are logical. They make sense financially. And most people, when they graduate from my program, they graduate with at least 3 clients on their calendar, 3 private clients on their calendar, and they graduate with at least 3 people enrolled in their group program. So that's 6 clients at about anywhere, depending on how you charge, you can charge them anywhere from $500 to $1,000. It depends on how you're going to break it down. That already, though, the average receipts for people who are leaving my program is about $6,000 for their income during those first 2 to 3 months. All right. So these kinds of numbers show that it's actually quite a good investment to work in my program at the way that it's currently priced. Okay. So that is something for you to be thinking about. And of course, I want to invite you to book yourself in for a strategy call if you are ready and willing to invest in yourself and you are wanting to start taking action on this venture that we are kind of working on together right now. So I'm putting a link to book a strategy call in the Zoom link. So you all have that there if you're with me on Zoom. And if you are on Facebook, I've got it for you there. All right. So there's the link to book yourself in. Good morning, Betty and Jacqueline. And ladies, I love that. Look, Betty is already on it. Betty, thank you. Letitia, I'm not sure why you're not receiving the workbooks. Rebecca sent them to you. They are probably in spam. Okay, they are probably in spam. They would come from Crystalline Badass Butterfly. All right. So ladies, go ahead and book yourself in. Bootcamp ends next Wednesday, and I want to see you before next Wednesday if it's possible. All right. And here on Zoom, I've got Tiffany, I've got Teresa, I have Leanne, and I have Nikki. Welcome, ladies. I'm really happy that you all are here. So first of all, I have to say that I'm working alone today. So Rebecca is off on the weekend. So I'm doing everything by myself. And today there is no workbook just because I don't know how. I don't know how to make it. And so you all will need a journal for today. All right. So if you all can grab a sheet of paper, couple sheets of paper, 2 or 3 sheets of paper. I have my notes. I've got all my notes written down, but I actually don't know how to make the workbook. And Rebecca was very sweet. She recorded a little Loom video for me. But the problem is that I've had clients all morning and I have not had a chance to go and watch her video and to figure out how to make the workbook. So I did not make a workbook for us. So, but I have good notes. I have excellent notes, and you all will be able to do this without a workbook, okay? Now, one little note, Letitia, by the way, look, I'm getting ready to send you, I can send you this. Oh, actually, I'm sending you a friendship request, and I'm sending you a link to day 3, the day 3 workbook, because, wait, hold on. I just messed that up. Ladies, you all need the day 3 workbook for today, okay? The day 3 workbook for today, because we need a little bit of information about that. We're going to be working on your signature offer and day 3 workbook. I know I put it here somewhere. Oh, rats. Let's see. Nope, we can close that. So the day 3 workbook was when we worked with our ideal client archetype. So I'm going to put a link to that in here. You should already have your own complete, okay? But just in case, I'll put the link in here for you. If you never got the day 3 workbook, you can just click on this link and use it. Or Yeah, and I'll put it here in Zoom as well. Here we go, copy, and then put this in Zoom in the chat. Boom, day 3 workbook. And then I'm going to also post that here on Facebook. I lost the live stream. Here it is. Okay. Here we go. Day 3 workbook. I did lose the live stream. Here we go. I think, yes, this is it right here. Okay. All right, day 3 workbook. It is now in the comments for you all on Facebook, okay? All right. And this can be silent. Boom. So what is a signature offer? That's what we're talking about for today. Your ideal client is coming to you because they want you to heal them. They want you to help them transform. They want you to help them change their mindset, develop new habits, develop new behaviors, develop new attitudes, okay? They need your help to develop all of those things. That's what a life coach does, okay? We help people develop new ways of being, thinking, and seeing the world. And your signature offer, and there are many ways that you are going to help people. You're going to create a lot of different things. You're going to create written blog posts that are helpful to your clients. You are going to create little classes that are free, that are helpful to your clients. And you're going to create little workbooks that are helpful to your clients as well, okay? But you are also going to create paid offers, and you need a signature offer that tells that is kind of your magic mix of everything you need to transform your client from A to Z. So it's a complete program. So your signature offer is a complete program. And you build this program specifically for your ideal client so that they can heal and transform. It's called a signature offer because it is your special brand of service. It is unique to you as a coach and to your company. So my brand is Badass Butterfly Spiritual Life Coaching. And I have 2 signature offers. One is for my private clients who are working on spiritual life coaching with me. And the other is my certification and business building program. I've been talking to you all about my certification and business building program for the last 7 days, okay? That is everything that I've talked to you about has been about understanding what it is that I do so that I can help you with this big, big project that you're going to be taking on, that you are taking on in your own life, okay? So one of my signature offers, because it's like I have 2 companies, so for my coaching and business building, spiritual life coach certification for Badass Butterflies, that is my signature offer. Now, my other signature offer is for the other aspect of my business, which is being a spiritual life coach and helping women transform. And for that particular signature offer, it's called the Ultimate Shadow Work and Healing Package. And that package has 3 different things that I offer. There are 3 different ways that I help people heal and transform. I use shadow work, healing, and light work, right? So my signature offer is based on shadow work, which is helping a person get in touch with their shadow and helping them get in touch with their shadow, helping them heal the shadow, helping the shadow break free, clear, helping them integrate the energy, and then giving them a new perspective, okay? That's one part. The other part, the next part, is healing. With that, I work on their energy. So I'll do things like Reiki, I'll work with their inner child. excuse me, I'll work with their vibration and do energy work to help them heal, okay? Then the third thing that I do is light work. So in my spiritual philosophy, after a person has gone through shadow work and they have gone through healing, then what they have to do is start making choices and plans for their life to improve and grow and expand their life through goals, through setting intentions and living more intentionally in their everyday life. So my signature offer is composed of shadow work, healing, and light work. All right. So today, what I'm going to do is teach you all how to build your own signature offer. Okay. And this should be pretty fun. So if you're excited, how about in the comments, dropping me a little confetti, letting me know how you feel, giving me a whoop. Let's do this, Crystalline. I want to build an offer, letting me know you're kind of excited about being here because I'm excited to have you here. Now, while you all are giving me some encouragement, oh, thank you, Betty. I appreciate it. While you all are giving me some encouragement, I want to talk to you about some ideas that are going to be really important as we go forward with this, okay? So, pricing. You're going to create a signature offer, and you're going to want to do your pricing at around $500 to $2,000 per month, okay? If you're charging less than $500 a month, you're not actually kind of standing in your power, you as a life coach. So I probably need to have a whole class about this, and maybe we'll do that in the live streams starting the following week. I'll talk about this more, but charging less than $500 a month is not going to help you. It's not a great move for your clients, and it's not a great move for you. Now, charging $500 a month for a group class is perfectly reasonable. If you have 3 to 4 people in a group and you meet with them each week, let's say that you charge $500 per person and you have 5 people in your group, then that is $2,500 that you've brought in for yourself for teaching those 5 people. And you would meet with them probably once a week. Okay, so that would be, so you would meet with them once a week, and you would earn $2,500 for those 4 hours of service, which is really, really great. Okay, now, so in your mind, start thinking about what you all would want to charge someone to work with you, all right, each month. Now, the next thing you have to start thinking about is, like, how are you going to do your curriculum? Like, how are you going to do your presentation? Are you going to be live, like I'm live with you all right now, okay? Or are you going to pre-record videos so people are going to just watch the videos and they might never actually talk to you unless they maybe pay you something that's separate from the videos that you're offering, okay? So these are things you have to think about. Now, you also have to think about your curriculum. Now, your curriculum is the content that you have created that helps your people transform. So for example, I told you all that in my program, I do shadow work, healing, and light work. So for shadow work, I have maybe 10 different exercises and workbooks where I've written out what shadow work is, what we're doing in each exercise. You all have seen my workbooks. You know what my workbooks look like. I don't have to explain it to you, okay? The workbooks that are in my program, though, are significantly more extensive than the workbooks that you all have during this boot camp. And the reason that is simply because in boot camp, I get you for 1 hour and 15 minutes for 1 week. Whereas my coaching students and I are working together for 3 months as a minimum, and we work together 4 hours a month, but we take a deep dive. We're focusing, we're concentrating. They're not covering nearly as much material in 7 weeks as I am in these 7 hours that we are working together. Okay, you're getting a lot of information here, but with them, it's deep information. So they are getting all of my writings, they're getting all of my philosophy. They have to read that, and then they have to watch my recorded videos and all this kind of thing, right? So my point for you is that I need you to understand that as a life coach, you are a coach, but you also are a content creator. You are a teacher, you are a leader, and your job is to educate your clients, and you need to give them exercises to help them know, to help them change, okay? For example, you might need to create for them a meditation that they can use to overcome anxiety, or you might create an exercise to help them change or to discover a limiting belief and then to change a limiting belief, okay? If you're working with them on their relationships, you might have an exercise to help them heal the relationship with their mother or something like that, all right? So these are the things you need to think about. You need to think about your curriculum. Now, the other thing you need to be thinking about is you have a curriculum. How are you going to get that curriculum to your clients? Is it going to be just that, oh, we're on the session, I'm going to give them the link to the workbook then? Or are you going to have a web page that has the content of your program already written out, and then they just click a link? Every week they click a new link, they go and they get that week's materials, right? So all of these things we have to think about. And this is why today we're talking about these things, but we're not actually doing them. Like, we're not going to do this fully. We're not going fully into this. I'm just going to do some things to take you through them, okay? Just because it's too much for us to cover. For my students and the program, we take 6 weeks, 6 weeks to build out their programs. That's just building out the program. That's not conceptualizing the program. We need another 2 months for that, okay? So this is a long process, but this will give you a really good idea of what it is we're doing today. Now, another thing you need to think about as a coach is, what is your class size? What is your ideal class size? So maybe you have a small group of people with 3 to 20 people in your group, okay? And that means that if we're on Zoom right now, there are 5 of us on Zoom. And if the people who are on Facebook, it looks like I have 3 people on Facebook. If we were all together on Zoom, then we would have maybe a group of 8 people on Zoom. How would it feel for you to be working with 8 people at one time? You need to be thinking about that, if you're going to be putting together this kind of a program. All right. Now, a small group, I say, is from 3 to 20 people, right? I like small group coaching classes. I do not like large group coaching classes because, excuse me, I can't keep up with more than 20 people. I can keep up with 20 people decently. I prefer small groups of like 6. That's my ideal number. 6, look, 6 to 12. I can handle 12 people. I would extend the time of the class. If I had 12 people in a class, it would not be a 1-hour class. It would be a 2-hour class. And if I had 20 people, it would be a 2.5 to 3-hour class. And so I'd be like, hey, you guys, we're going to get together. We're going to be here for 3 hours, and we would work out that way. So you figure that out, what feels good for you and how you need to do your class sizes. I say small group is 3 to 20 people, large group is 20 to 50 people, and an academic group is 50 people or more, right? And that's though when you're not actually doing coaching, you're not trying to connect with every individual person. You're doing you're doing something else. You're presenting. You probably have trainers that are helping you, and things like that. Okay, so those are some of the things that you need to be thinking about. If you all have questions, please type them into the comments. And thank you, Leanne. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm glad you're excited. And thank you all. Thank you, Tiffany and Leanne, for the confetti drop. I do appreciate it, y'all. It feels good. Letitia says she's ready to do this. Right on, y'all. So we're doing it. We are in, aren't we? So your job as a certified spiritual life coach is to take your clients from point A to point B. You're here to help them transform their lives. Okay, your job is to help your clients transform their lives. So how are you going to do that? You're going to do that by first understanding who your ideal client is. Who is your ideal client? All right, so this is where your workbook number 3 is going to come in. I need you to what we need from workbook 3, which is, let me actually make sure, if I'm not mistaken, that's your Divine Coaching Business Blueprint. And I think that what you need is on page 7, which is where the actual blueprint is itself. And what we want, let me just hop in here first. Yeah, okay, right. And let me share my screen so you all can see what I'm talking about. Boom. Okay, so this is the blueprint. And over here, whoops, I can't see that. Over here to the right, it says my ideal client archetype. And you need each one of these lines for the next little exercise we're going to do, okay? So I'm going to, let's see, let me take my notes out here. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Okay, very good. I'm assuming you all can see my screen, right? You can, let's see, that's what we need, the workbook. You all can see my blueprint, right? Okay, so the first thing you have to do is understand where your client is now before they are working with you, okay? So your client is not evolved like you are evolved. This is the mistake that a lot of coaches make. They think their client is as evolved, as sophisticated, and as courageous, okay? Your clients are not that courageous, y'all, all right? Your clients are where you used to be. And I know that a lot of you are saying things like, well, I'm not healed yet, but you're more healed than the client who is coming to you. Okay, that's just the nature of how the universe works. People come to you because they want to learn from you, not because they want to say, I'm better than you. That's not what people are doing. There are a few trolls out there, but that's not what you're building your business on. You're building your business based on people who need your help. So you need to understand what their point A is. Okay, so that's over here, the primary limiting belief, the primary limiting thought, the primary negative emotion, and the primary negative behavior. So I want you all to have that handy. If you want to write those down in your notebook or journal or on your paper, go ahead and do that. But I want you to label that as your point A, your client's point A, their starting point for this new journey. Okay. So your job is to take your client from point A to point B, which is a transformed life. Okay. So once you've identified what their point A is, you need to, before you quite give them their transformation, their point B, you kind of have to do a little bit of work around their point A. All right. So yes, you've identified these four topics. Okay, that's very good. But one of the things that would be really helpful is if you identified the problems that are coming from these limiting beliefs. So for example, if I say that my ideal client has a limiting belief that she is not worthy of love from a man, okay? That's her primary belief, and her primary thoughts surround that, and her primary negative emotion is sadness and disappointment, and maybe her primary negative behavior is avoiding men, like shutting down whenever a man is near, an attractive man is near, okay? So what I want to do is kind of identify what kinds of problems I solve for her, right? So some of the problems I would solve for her is I would help her improve. I would help her find and change her limiting beliefs about herself. I would help her find and change her beliefs around her negative thoughts around men, okay? Changing the negative thoughts. I would help her improve her emotional state where she feels more confident instead of disappointed. And maybe I'd give her some behaviors that would help her become more confident. Like I'd ask her to start approaching men in a safe way, okay? So once you have that in your mind, and actually, I think what I'm going to do is give you a moment. Okay, I'm going to give you all 1 minute to look at the limiting belief, thoughts, emotion, and thought, emotion, and behavior that you have listed here. And what I'm going to ask you to do is tell me like how you would help this person. Like what would be an improvement that you would make on each one of those levels, okay? I want you to write this down in your journal. So I'm setting the timer for 1 minute. And if you all have any questions about anything that I'm saying, please type them into the comments. Okay, the timer is set, y'all. Let's see. And Letitia has a good question over here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, Teresa says I'm frozen. Something happened in Zoom. Okay. Okay. I appreciate that information. What if you want to do a conference? How many people would you suggest? Letitia, you know, for your conference, it depends on how many people you have supporting you. I think that it is perfectly fine to do a conference with 5 people by yourself, right? Just you, 5 people taking on a subject, and you can manage those 5 people very easily. I think that's really great for a new coach, 5 or 6 people. If you have support, depending on the nature of your support. So for example, if you're working with another coach and you all are co-facilitating your conference, then you could do 12 people. Okay, that timer just went off, y'all, but you all can keep on working. You could do 12 people because the 2 of you can navigate the 12 students, okay? But if you're going to do more than that, you need to have, you need help. You need an assistant or 2, all right? When you're doing conferences online, it's easier, but if you're doing conferences in person, it's much more challenging, but it's good. It's fun. I totally recommend you go for it. All right, let me check on Zoom and see. And actually, I'm going to stop the screen share right now. It'll be easier for me to see the chat. Okay, good. No questions. Fine. Okay, so All right, let me just find my notes again, y'all. Here we go. So once you kind of know who your ideal client is, what their point A is, what you're going to do for them, you now have to think about their ultimate pain point. Excuse me. You want to think about that pain point theme that is running through them, okay? And actually, I stopped the screen share too soon because I should have shared with you this. I mean, I should have shown you this here in the middle of your coaching business is the pain point theme, okay? And this is the kind of theme that you discovered that you're kind of really good at. You know a lot about this, and you can help people heal and transform this thing. This is your pain point theme. So go ahead and put that in your journal as well. And now I'm going to stop the screen share, and I'm going to get back into my notes, which I keep losing. Here we go. And here's the thing that we want to do when we're starting to build our actual offer itself. We want to begin with the end in mind. So when you're first starting out and you're trying to build your signature offer, you want to kind of think about where you want to take your clients. Okay, so we looked at those. We looked at the limiting beliefs and the behaviors and the negative thoughts and the emotions, and we said, okay, we want to help them make these improvements in their lives. But what we want to kind of understand is things in a more personal, three-dimensional form. All right. So the question that I want you all to answer in your journal right now is, what is the outcome you want your client to have? So how would you describe their point B? After they've worked with you, how are they behaving? How is their life different? All right. So for example, if I want to work with single women who are suffering from unworthiness, I want my outcome to be that my clients meet and develop a long-lasting relationship with their ideal romantic partner. That's the outcome I want to have. So they start off with an unworthiness mindset, and then I take them to a worthiness mindset that ends in marriage, let's say, okay? So go ahead and answer that question for yourself, and feel free to put your answer into the chat for me so I can keep up with you. Okay. All right, I'm giving you all just a few seconds to do that while I locate. I keep getting my windows lost. Here we go. All right, excellent. I've got it. Okay. All right. The next thing that you have to kind of answer, the next question is, what have my clients overcome in order to be able to have this new thing that they want? So a woman who has an unworthiness mindset and who has negative thoughts, negative beliefs, negative thoughts, negative emotions, and negative behaviors around men, what does she have to overcome? Well, obviously she has to overcome all four of those things, okay? Her negative beliefs, her thoughts, her emotions, and her behaviors, but she also has to maybe overcome some negative, some limiting thought patterns, right? So maybe she has to improve her self-image. Maybe she has to improve her relationship with the divine masculine. Maybe she has to even improve her relationship with the divine feminine, okay? So your job right now is to start understanding and start getting clear about all the different things that are keeping a woman trapped in the negative thing that she is experiencing. And I gave you those four concepts, the beliefs, negative thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. I gave you those four as a starting point. But as a philosopher and coach, you have to go much deeper. So again, today, you guys, we're just scratching the surface of this, but on your own, you can very easily write all this stuff out in your journal every day. I told you all that I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning so that I can, connect with spirit, and I can connect with, connect with myself, so I can do my meditation, my chanting, my yoga. But I also spend at least an hour to an hour and a half philosophizing about my client and their issues, okay? So the more you philosophize, the deeper you go and the better coach you become. The more educated you make yourself by engaging with these topics. And really, it should be fun. So ask yourself, what do people need to overcome in order to move into that woman who feels confident around men and has her ideal partner? How does she need to change? Okay. The next question you all have to ask yourself is, what has your client released? What has she released in order to become the woman that you need her to become? Okay, so maybe she has to release her attachment to feeling like a victim. Maybe she has to release her attachment to being mad at the divine masculine. Excuse me. Maybe she has to release her comfort zone. Okay, these are all questions that you need to be able to answer. I'm going to give you 1 minute to answer those last two questions in your notebook, okay, or in your journal. Oh, I'm on the wrong. I got two phones sitting here and I'm on the wrong one. Here we go. I'm giving you 1 minute, y'all. 1 minute for those two questions. The first question is, what have they overcome? The second question is, what have they released? Go ahead and type your answers. Anything you want to share with me, type it into the chat, please. I love hearing from you all. Okay, Tiffany, am I back? Am I still frozen? I can't still be frozen, right? Y'all, I could still be frozen. Am I frozen? I'm good now. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so I hope you got the question. So there are two questions. What have your clients overcome in order to achieve, in order to be that person you are helping them become? And what have they released? Okay. Just 5 more seconds on that. Okay. The next question that you have to ask yourself is, what can they do now that they couldn't do before? What can they do now that they couldn't do before because they were in so much pain or they were in fear? So for example, maybe this client is now able to interact in the world in a way that excites her and stimulates her trust and intimacy. Maybe she can walk into a space where there are men with her head held high. Maybe she's not afraid to flirt. Maybe she loves connecting with men. Maybe she's no longer hiding from men, right? So go ahead and answer that question now in your journal. What can they do now that they couldn't do before because of their pain? And I'm giving you all a minute on that one. And one of the reasons why we're asking this question now is because this is helping you understand where you have to go. Where are you taking your people? So the better you are at answering these questions right now, the better you're going to be in this exercise in a couple of minutes when we need to know where we're taking them and how we're going to get them there. When we start figuring out what the process is, okay? Okay, so just another 10 seconds, y'all. Okay, and so the last question we want to kind of look at for this particular section is what mind shifts has, what mindset, oh my God, I can't talk. Here we go. What mindset shifts did your client have to have in order to become this new woman? Okay, so she had to have so we're talking about the woman who was unworthy and now she's really confident with men. So one of the mindset shifts she needed to have was a mindset shift from I am unattractive to I'm attractive enough to attract a good man, right? Maybe it would be I am unworthy of love. And maybe the mindset shift is I am worthy of love and I trust the process, right? Or whatever it means for you. I've got my own thing going on in my head here. So what are the mindset shifts that your client needs to make in order to become that woman who owns the thing that you are giving her? Okay. And again, if you all have any questions about what I'm communicating here, please let me know. And you all are just answering that. I'm going to give you just another, give me just another 10 seconds here. And just keeping in mind that you can come back and finish all this up. And as a matter of fact, I want you to come back, finish this up, and take a deep dive into this in your journaling tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay. Now, the next question, or the next part of the process. The next part of the process is determining your process, okay? What are the things your clients need to do in order to transform? So the first thing we want to look at are your tools. There are two types of tools. There are academic tools, right? So academic tools such as videos, workbooks, like these are the things that I need to watch this video. This video is going to teach me how to change my mindset. This video is going to teach me the 3 different ways to flirt confidently with a man. This video is going to teach me how to improve my self-esteem, and this workbook goes along with this video, okay? So what I want you to do right now is to think about some of the academic tools that you want to use in order to help your clients transform. What do you imagine that you would need as far as tools are concerned? So you all can start writing that down in your journal. What are your academic tools? And I'm going to just kind of give you all some suggestions to kind of fuel you. But like I mentioned, there are videos and workbooks. You can also create podcasts or MP3s. It would be a better way, but you could do a podcast as well. But it would be just an audio recording of what it is you want your person to learn. Maybe you'll write some articles, okay? Maybe you'll also do some kind of like drawing diagrams. I love asking my students to draw things because it gets them out of their head and into kind of a different aspect of themselves. So maybe you're going to like have some coloring pages, or you can create some coloring pages, or you can have someone draw coloring pages, or you can download coloring pages of a woman with self-esteem and what that looks like. And maybe her assignment might be to color this in, or maybe she has to draw a picture of herself and you have her doing drawings or doing vision boards. Maybe you have her doing tables, and I keep saying her, it doesn't have to be her. You can work with men, of course, please work with men. Please work with men, y'all. Okay. You can also have lists of things. All right. Okay, let me check in with you all and see if anyone wants to share with me anything that you've come up with for any of the questions that I've asked. Feel free to drop them into the comments. Now, the second type of tools are what I call practical tools. And these are kind of like, this is not really a great name for them. They're more like energetic. That's what I should have called them, not practical. These are energetic tools, okay? Now, these energetic tools are ways that the student can transform their own energy, okay? Or you provide them a way of doing these things and it will transform their energy. So make a list of tools in your journal that you would like to use, energetic tools. And these might be, for example, and I'm going to give you my whole list that I have here, and you all can just, you can write down the ones that feel appealing to you. But I have meditations, chanting, breath work, shadow work, goal setting, dietary changes, fasting, herbal supplements, essential oils, exercise or movement, yoga, dance. So these are just some examples of some energetic tools that you can include in your program. So make a list of the energetic tools that feel appealing to you. And while you all are writing those down, I'm going to keep moving on. The next part of your process, and this is actually the most challenging part, I think. How are you going to get your clients to change their way of thinking, believing, feeling, and behaving? How are you going to get them to actually do that? This is why life coaches make a lot of money. Because look, you cannot tell an adult to do something and expect that adult to do it, okay? Adults are adults and they do what they want to do. Let's face it, all right? But as a life coach, part of our job is figuring out how we can get past an adult person's defenses and past their habits and ways of being to get them to do things that are actually beneficial to them. Okay, how are you going to do that? So first of all, I want you all just to answer that question. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to answer that question in and of itself. And then I really want you all to pop your answers because I want to know what you all say to that question in the comments. Letitia, thank you very much. You're going to add in one of your tools. Excuse me. You're going to use meditation and herbal oils for your energetic tools. That's perfect. Really good. And y'all, I have to apologize for coughing. I've been detoxing. I've been doing a detox, like an intense detox for the last month, and my whole body is just literally detoxing. I'm breaking out, I'm coughing, I've got phlegm, I've got fatigue, I've got a headache, like I am doing the detox and I am refusing to back down. So my apologies that I'm not spreading any germs to you. Thank goodness we are online. But I am just over here, like I am clearing. Okay. And I think I will be done with this in about 2 weeks, but it has been quite a process. Anyway, hey Raven, I'm glad that you've made it. There is no workbook for today's session because I couldn't make it. And Rebecca is off this weekend. So we're doing all of our work in the journal, okay? All right, so let's get on to the next thing I need you all to think about, which is, so we're still with this idea of how you're going to get your clients to change their way of thinking, believing, feeling, and behaving. All right. So that was the question you just answered. I would love for you to put your answers in the comments. Okay. But here's another question for you. What concepts do they need to learn? And what exercises do they need to do? Okay, these are really big questions, all right? The concepts are huge. So if I want to work with a woman who is experiencing unworthiness around men, and I want her to become a confident woman who trusts herself and trusts men so that she can be in a relationship that is healthy, right? I have to teach her some concepts. First of all, I need to teach her the concept of what a healthy relationship is. I need to teach her the concept of what a confident woman is around men. I have to teach her the concept of what a worthiness mindset is, right? So all the things that she needs to know, I've got to be able to teach her. But before I teach her, I got to first identify what those things are, okay? So what I need you to do right now is to write down the concepts, just a few of them, that your clients need to learn in order for you to be able to get them to their point B. All right. So please write that down right now. And I've got the timer going. You've got 1 minute to list some of the concepts they need to learn. And Letitia says we must meet them on the level where they are and at the state of mind that they're in. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Letitia. You've got to understand who they are at point A in order to get them at point B. If you don't understand what's happening with them at point A, there's no way you're going to be able to take them to point B. And there's no way that you can even keep them in your audience, let alone convert them to a paying client. So I think that what you've said is very wise. So as you're looking at the what concepts they need to learn, go ahead and start writing down any exercises that you can imagine. So for example, I have a belief exercise, and this might be way too advanced for you for right now, but I'm throwing it out there anyway, just in case you take this and run with it. But an exercise that your client may need to do is to change a belief, right? So I have a beautiful belief exercise that helps the person identify their core negative belief around a topic. It's extremely effective. It is a transformational exercise. So I would list that as my exercise. So you all are still new at this. You may not have created any exercises yet, but if you could imagine yourself giving someone an exercise to help them transform, what exercise would you give them? Okay, so I'm going to give you all a minute just to kind of think about this. Don't worry if you don't have any idea, okay? Because if you've never done this before, where are you going to get an exercise? But I just want you to know that this is something that you have to create. And of course, in my certification program, what we do is this. What we do is we work, we create the exercises together. We work through the concepts together. We put together your process together, you and me, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So you're not alone, okay? Let's see, Betty says, the client needs and wants are as important to them as they are to others. Yes, absolutely, 100%. And understanding that, like when your clients come to you, their needs and wants are all that matter. And the thing that makes a life coach really great is that we don't let our clients put anybody else's needs or wants ahead of theirs, not even their children. And the reason I say that is because your client already has a mechanism that is going to put others ahead of her. Sorry, guys. She's already putting everybody else's needs and wants before her own, okay? And you have to really stand up to that aspect of her that makes everybody else's thing important. And you have to help her find a balance between her needs and her clients' needs. I mean, her children's needs, her family's needs, her boss's needs, her elderly parents' needs, the needs that come from her moral code. Okay, her moral code is telling her that these things are all a priority and have more value than her own needs. And your job is to stay focused on her needs and to see how she can give them more priority in her life. All right. You guys, I'm annoyed with my own coughing. You all may not be annoyed with my coughing, but I certainly am. So my apologies again. All right, we're almost there, girl. We're almost there. So the next thing that you have to do is to ask yourself, what are the big, new, courageous moves that you're going to have your clients make? What are the big, new, courageous moves that you're going to have your clients make? So maybe what I'm going to have this woman do, she's been suffering with unworthiness. Maybe I'm going to have her dress in a way that is flirtatious. I'm going to have her add some signature, like a cute little pin to her top that is a conversation starter. Or maybe I'm going to have her wear some earrings that are a conversation starter. Or maybe I'm going to have her wear a perfume that is particularly sexy, something like that. So what big, new, courageous moves are you going to have your clients make? All right. Go ahead and type those into, write them down in your journal. And then if you want to share them with me, I'd be more than happy to see what you're doing. Letitia says, read the I am, read the I am, then write it out loud so they could hear it. Because yes, oh, I love this, Letitia. I love this, very, very good. Letitia says, read the I am, Then write it out. Read it out loud so they could hear it, because they could hear it, they could hear the positive words they speak over their life. Then sit and meditate on it for 30 minutes. That, my friend, is an excellent exercise. Well done. If you just made that up, brava, brava to you. Good work. Leanne says, help them create a scrapbook for themselves so they have reference of growth, and how they got there. Teaching them how to transition through stages of grief. Yes, Leanne, yes to all of that. And I particularly like the use of incorporating things like a scrapbook, because I like multimedia and I like combining art with healing. Your clients will love it. Even if they're not artsy fartsy, a scrapbook is really good. Like if they don't like drawing, they usually like cutting things out and making vision boards and doing things like that. Working with different media, cutting out words, they love that. So using that for themselves as a reference for growth, like they can journal, you can give them exercises, but then you add a little art to it to make it a little scrapbook effect. Love it very much. Very, very good. All right, and Letitia says she did do that. Excellent work, my friend. Excellent. All right, now for the process. My question for you is, what are the steps that they had to do in order to get this outcome? Okay. So in order for your client, in order for my client to become this love magnet, okay, what did she have to do? Well, let's say that I decided that this is a 2-month program, and I'm going to take her from point A to point B over these 2 months or 8 weeks, okay? So maybe and this is where I want you all to kind of like lay out the process. Week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through week 8. Or through week 12, if that maybe is, how long your program is. So maybe during week 1, we are dealing with her shadow. Look, this is my approach. I'm telling you my approach to all of my coaching offers, okay? Always start with defining the problem, getting to the root cause of the problem. I always start with the problem, okay? So the first 2 weeks, we're going to be doing shadow work. We're going to be looking at the limiting beliefs. We're going to be identifying the negative mindsets. We're going to be looking at why things are not working the way they are. We're going to get her to tell her wounded stories, her stories of her past painful experiences. Okay, we're going to do all that in the first few weeks. Then what we're going to do is a course of healing. We're going to work on, spend 3 weeks where we're working on energy. We're working on changing those limiting beliefs. We're working on the inner child that felt rejected and abandoned. We're working on all these things energetically, right? So we're doing some meditations, and we're doing some movement, and maybe we're eating some different foods, and maybe we're working with essential oils and things like that. Okay, so that's going to be weeks 4 through 6. We're going to do that healing thing, and then the last part will be some light work things. So we're going to start talking about who is your ideal partner. What are you looking for in a partner? What are you willing to give of yourself in exchange? How do you want to show up for your partner? And then the last week will be, let's go out and meet our partner, and I give them a list of things that they want to do, that I want them to do in order to meet and connect with their partner. Okay. So what I want you to do right now, I'm going to give you just 1 minute to work on this, and then you're going to finish it up on your own for home fun. So lay out your program weeks. How are you going to help them heal? How do you think this is going to go down? And don't be afraid to, don't be afraid to try on your ideas. It's okay. You can't mess this up. Okay. How do you think a person needs to transform? Now, this is very different. This process that I'm taking you through right now is very different than what we would do in my program, because in my program, I have to be accountable. You don't get 1 minute. And we have to be accountable to the ideas that are coming forth, right? So we have to put it all together. This is another thing, you all, and this is just talking about coaching programs in general. You all should investigate other coaching programs, and you should compare them, just do a little comparison of them. But I've been in enough coaching programs to know I've literally spent $100,000 on coaching in the last 8 years. That's a lot of money. But I learned something from every coaching program. I learned a lot from every coaching program, but I've never seen a coaching program that is as effective as my coaching program. Okay, Spiritual Life Coach Certification for Badass Butterflies. And that is that's not me being arrogant. That's me being honest. I've had other coaches first tell me, you can't do that. That can't be done. And then, of course, my response to that was, watch me. And then after my program was up and running and other coaches have seen it, they're like, I can't believe you did that. You're doing everything. And I'm like, yeah, I am doing everything. And they're like, yeah, but how do you do that? And this is what makes my coaching program different than other coaching programs. I work with you intimately all the time, every single week. My students come to session with me. Some come 2 or 3 days per week to meet with me. And the reason I do that is because I know that you cannot build your business alone. And most coaching programs tell you, yeah, you can do this on your own. You only need to have 1 meeting per month with me. You can just watch the videos and do the worksheets and meet with me for 1 hour per month, and you will build your business. And actually, that does not work for most people. All right. So I'm just saying that this way of working that I have in my program, where I meet with my students and I insist that they come with me, they come with me for accountability each week, is really so that they can be supported, be seen, be held accountable, and receive the input that they need, because it's so easy to miss the point, y'all. Even just before we came online here, I have a small group. Those women in that group are really, 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 really savvy. They are super savvy. And one of them today, when after she got my feedback on her work, she says, Crystal, why is this so hard? And I'm like, it's not that it's hard, it's just detailed, And the fact is, you're doing it, okay? Just because I gave you feedback and you need to redo some things, it doesn't mean that you've done poorly. It's that you just are ready. You have to go deeper. That's all there is to it. So my point, ladies, is to understand that building a business, especially if you're new, if you've never built a coaching business before, you need support, you need help. Choose a program that actually will give you the help that you need on a consistent basis, not once a month. That is not helpful for you. I'm an experienced coach and it's not helpful for me, okay? So just consider that as you're going forward and you're thinking about with whom you want to get certified, okay? All right, lovelies. So we are wrapping it up right now. I want to just see if there are any other, oh yeah, there's one last thing that I want to say to you. So everything that you've done right now and everything you've got to go back and put together, that is going to be the heart of your signature offer. Okay, if you flush out all those questions, you're going to have the framework for a damn good signature offer. If you can answer all those questions, if you can put in your process, if you can talk about the big courageous moves that you're going to have them do, if you can talk about the concepts, and if you can create those exercises, you will have for yourself an awesome signature offer. I would love for you all to work on that, and then share your stuff with me in the group. Okay, feel free to share what you come up with in the group. I'd love to see it. Now, I think that's really all that I have to say for us for today. Actually, okay, one last thing. You've heard me mention this in passing, but I'm going to say it one more time. You need a spiritual philosophy. And your spiritual philosophy is your statement of what you believe, what you value, and how you think emotions and spirituality work in our lives. That's what your spiritual philosophy is. You have a philosophy. My girl here, Tiffany, is writing her book. Some of you are also writing books, okay? And your spiritual philosophy is a way of your spiritual philosophy written is the way that you're going to help people understand how you can help them and why they should be following you. So if my spiritual philosophy around being in a healthy relationship says that unconditional love for yourself will help you attract the right romantic partner, I need to write that out. It's not enough just to say it once. I have to deepen that message, okay? Out of all the stuff that I've written around my philosophy, I definitely have a book written. I've got hundreds of pages of text around my philosophy, around being a coach, and how to take care of your clients and all this stuff. I have tons of philosophy. So my point for you is, as you're building your signature offer, understanding that people will want to participate with you, but they need to know who you are and what you think and what you believe and what's important to you, because all those things are how you are going to help them. Okay. So that's important to think about along with your signature offer. Okay. So y'all, how are you doing? Is everybody okay? There are no questions. This is good. It means that you all are getting it and you're doing it. I'm going to go ahead and sign us off for the day. And we'll be back tomorrow where we're going to talk about money. I don't have a workbook for tomorrow either. So, because I had no idea of how to do the workbook for tomorrow, because we're going to do math tomorrow. So I have to figure out how to do that in Excel. So that'll be a while. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for another adventure. Okay? Have a great day. Happy Saturday.